one of the busiest days of the year because Valleywide is having their opening, and there's about the Masonic Lodge is having a chili cook-off. Everybody in town is doing something on April 4th, so it's going to be a great day. RTA is Thursday, and then SCAG is the first week of March. That's it.
Okay, well, I'm the alternate to the Water Master Board, and we had that meeting Monday. If you could just make a note on there that I am the alternate on that one. Infrastructure Commission has yet to be formed, and the next League of California Cities Policy Committee meetings are going to be in Orange County this time, so we don't have to book airfare and deal with all of that transportation. So that's coming up. I attended my very first Riverside County Habitat Conservation Agency and got indoctrinated about the Stevens kangaroo rat. And it's just amazing to me that all of the brain power and energy and money that goes into this species, but it's moving off of the endangered into the unlisted category. So, yeah, but it's getting close apparently, and the next step is getting it actually taken off of the endangered. So I was really impressed with the technological means that they use to track this little guy and his families, using drones that have sophisticated high-def cameras and a software program that can basically color code the habitat and determine based on the assessment of that. And it's apparently got artificial intelligence that each time it makes passes over there in the mapping, it learns more and becomes more adept at actually identifying the habitat. So
what's going to happen to the $3 million condos that Eastern had built in the
yeah,
that's right.
that wasn't on the topic of discussion, so can't say. Anyhow, that was an educational meeting for me, and actually kind of entertaining it in some way. So, and the Western Community Energy Board meeting is coming up again. Yeah, actually on the 11th. And we're moving closer to going live on that, so we're going to be kicking off actually in May. The literature is going out. I actually received a mailer from WCE, and we have a kiosk now that when I went to the last meeting, they actually provided me with a kiosk and information cards, and that's set up in our public area of City Hall. And they were surprised when I told them that I had received a mailer, because they said you shouldn't have gotten it yet. But then they found out that it's because I have solar. So the people that have solar are in a different category, so they're getting theirs earlier. Did have a chance to attend a number of things. The Student of the Month was, again, an outstanding program. Very moving stories of these wonderful students, and their stories were very impressive. So that's always a great event to go to. Let's see, we had, I want to commend our police department, and particularly our police chief, for the outstanding job that they did on a very gruesome and tragic multiple homicide. It was all over the news. We had a press conference in here on Friday, and our police chief did an outstanding job, and we've even received favorable feedback from other police chiefs commenting on just how compassionate he was in making that press conference on a very difficult situation with family members and friends in attendance. So he slipped away, so he's not here. Oh, there he is. Okay. I was looking for you in the back there. So good job, Chief. That was outstanding under very, very difficult circumstances. And let's see, tomorrow night is the 48th graduation of our police volunteer class. So I'll be attending that and looking forward to seeing the new addition to our police volunteers. And I think that's about it for now. So,
Yes, I have one more thing we forgot.
okay.
A good time to go see the Lake Linda, our Diamond Valley Lake Marathon, is March 7th at 8 a.m. for Habitat for Humanity. So,
Partway around it.
there we go. Perfect.
Good. City manager.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Ad hoc committee, the Florida Avenue Ad hoc committee, we have a meeting set up with Caltrans and a business on March 2nd. And CDBG, we will be Michael and I will be setting up a date with staff ASAP.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you. I have a few updates. You should be receiving an email from Brenda in the near future about strategic planning sessions and some meetings beforehand, so you should be getting that information in the next day or two. We are also working on solidifying a contract with HDL to assist us with Measure Z and moving forward with the council direction from last month. We recently brought on board Tim Holtz as our interim Public Works Director, and so he's settling in Public Works and providing an additional boost to the team over there. I want to thank Charles Russell for the time that he spent in helping us in bridging the gap and making sure that things were moving in the right direction. In addition, the mayor did bring up WCE. We do have a date that we'll be meeting with WRCOG to make sure that our staff and the individuals that interface with the public, take calls, are up to speed and up to date with the information from WCE, so that if we receive any calls from constituents, residents, we're able to provide as much information as we can, and so that our team is knowledgeable with that rollout. We have Nelson, who I think is outside, but he helped us a tremendous amount in the absence of a community development director, and so his last day will be this week, and so we'll be saying farewell to him, but just want to thank him for the time that he spent with us and assisting us and making sure that a number of the projects that we had on the books continue to move forward in the absence of a community development director. So we're very much appreciative of his efforts and his continued professionalism throughout the time that he was here. Finally, I will say that we have a new police chief, Eddie Poost, and so we're happy to have him on the team. We're coordinating a swearing-in ceremony to make sure that we have individuals from the police department, members from the public, as well as the council that's there, so that we can honor him and make sure that we have a ceremony where individuals can come and recognize the achievement that Chief Poost has attained so far. So I want to make sure that everyone knows that that should be coming in the near term with the date. We are still working with the council on solidifying that. I do want to add, our office did receive a request for a letter of support regarding Medicare for All. And so if the council wishes to take that up, we'd be happy to agendize that, but I just need direction on that so that I can provide feedback to the individual that's requested that. That's all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
Okay. Can we get council direction on that request for agendizing? Can we do that? Yes. Tonight? Before we get to future agenda items, I just wanted to, something I did overlook, that with the assistance of Brenda Chavez, she did a very nice nomination for My City Youth for the Juvenile Justice Department, or what is it, JJDPC, and the acronym definition escapes me, but, they,
Something about kids.
they have an annual, yeah,
They're helping
it's
kids.
basically they wanted to, recognize successful programs in addressing juvenile delinquency is basically what it is. And our nomination was successful, and My City Youth is going to be a recipient of that award. And that award ceremony is going to happen on March 12th in Riverside. So I plan to attend that, and hopefully other council members can do likewise. But it's a wonderful program, very dedicated folks doing a lot of good things, and I'm glad that they're going to be recognized for that. So moving on to item 12, future agenda items. Council have a preference to add a future agenda item to discuss the request for a letter of support for Medicare for All?
No, I'm sorry, I don't.
I guess we're voting, no, I don't.
I have done research on Medicare for All, and contrary to what we've been told from the podium, it is not free. Employers would still pay for it. Employees would still pay for it. Middle America would pay for it. Everybody would pay for it for those who don't want to pay for it themselves. I personally am not in favor of it, and I would not vote for it if it came to council.
Okay, so I do have another comment to add to that about my no, is that from what I understand and what I've heard is that it's going to cost taxpayers that make over $29,000 a year 52% income tax, and if you make $15 an hour, which is a proposed minimum wage, that puts you at $31,000 a year, which then in fact you will end up with a base rate of $7.20 an hour after you pay your taxes.
Give me a raise so I can spend more money on
If you
taxes.
go with that plan.
Okay, I'm sensing a lack of interest in making that a future agenda item, so
I will go ahead and
You
let
have
the
that
requester
direction?
know. Thank you.
thank you. Does anyone have anything that they would like to add to future agenda items? And we're working on council protocol, so we'll be able to check that one off fairly soon. But I think we should leave it on there until we get farther down the road with it. Okay, well, if the,
I don't think this is a future agenda item. Maybe it is, but soon after, I'd like some time to discuss Simpson Park. A later date, I've talked to Akefield a little bit about it tonight because Charles wasn't here, but evidently the restrooms are not working up there. And becoming a really big mess because people are still using them and they aren't working. So we need to,
I'll follow up with the staff.
thanks.
okay, well, that brings us to adjournment. So we are going to adjourn the regular session at this point and go into our closed session. Thank you all for attending.